If your prospects are booking sales calls but not showing up, or if you're getting ghosted after someone schedules time with you, or if your calendar's full of meetings but they never actually happen, you probably don't have a lead issue, you have an attendance issue. That's costing you a lot more money than you think, because every missed sales call isn't just a wasted hour, it's a missed opportunity that you already spent a ton of time and money to create. The good news is that most no-shows aren't random. There are specific reasons why people don't show to sales calls, and there are systems you can put in place to significantly improve attendance. In this video, we're going to go over exactly why prospects ghost sales calls and what you can do to increase your show rates without generating a single additional lead. If you guys want more clients, more sales, and marketing that actually works, you should subscribe, because that's what all my videos are built to help you do. So the first thing we need to talk about is why show rates matter so much. We're going to break this into two sections. So imagine you're running an agency and you generate 20 sales calls every month, but only half of those people actually show up. So now you don't have 20 opportunities, you have 10. Now imagine you improve your show rate from 50% to 75%. Now without spending a single extra dollar on cold email, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, whatever it is, without generating another lead, without changing the offer, you've now increased the number of sales conversations you're having by 50%. It's a massive increase in opportunity that tends to almost always go overlooked by businesses in favor of thinking the solution is, we just need to spend more money, we need to send more emails, we need to make more content. There is such easy money sitting inside of the leads that you've already generated. Now, the second part of this is that most people think sales calls are won or lost just on the call itself. You have to understand that the sales call is just a conclusion of a decision-making process that's been happening inside of your prospect's mind for days. So throughout this video, we're going to use a fictional marketing agency as an example. We're going to call them ABC. So let's say a landscaping company owner sees one of ABC's LinkedIn posts. They click to the website, they read a case study, they watch a testimonial, and they finally book a call. And at that moment, they're really excited to get on a call with ABC because they're experiencing peak certainty in ABC's ability to get the job done. The problem's urgent, solution feels valuable, and the next step feels obvious, so they book, which is great. But then 3 days pass before the meeting. They get really busy, tons of customer complaints come up, an employee needs maternity leave, another agency reaches out to them via email, or they just forgot why they booked in the first place. Or worse, they start second-guessing their decision to get on the call. The problem was not that they suddenly stopped needing marketing assistance. The problem is that nothing was guiding them between booking and attending. You have to understand that every single interaction you have with a prospect after they book either strengthens their commitment to you or weakens it. The first strategy we're going to talk about is proper booking etiquette with calendar links. One of the most common mistakes that I see across all service businesses is that they immediately send calendar links. So you've got prospects replying to cold emails, responding to LinkedIn messages, expressing interest on phone calls, and the response from the agency or salesperson is, awesome, here's my calendar link. And that seems really logical and harmless, but it creates a lot of friction because now that prospect has to open the link, they have to review the availability, compare their schedule, select a time, complete the booking, blah, blah, blah. Every additional step there creates an opportunity for them to just abandon you. The other issue is that people really love feeling in control. When someone feels like they're immediately being pushed into your system, they're pretty likely to become less committed to the process. So instead, what we do is we propose specific times. So for example, would Tuesday at 2 p.m. or Wednesday at 10 a.m. work better? Now, the prospect is not creating a decision from scratch, they're just choosing an option, which is way easier and it's collaborative. And because they actively selected the time, they're way more committed to keeping the appointment. The next strategy we're going to talk about is the use of qualification forms. These are widely misunderstood tools. You got some businesses that make their forms so long that nobody finishes or reads them, and you've got other ones that don't use them at all. The goal with these is not just collecting the maximum amount of information, it's just increasing commitment. So think about what we've been talking about. If somebody takes the time to answer thoughtful questions before the sales call, they've invested effort into the process, and people are more likely to follow through on commitments they've invested time into. But this only works if the audience actually understands the questions that you're asking them. So let's use ABC as the example again. So they might ask questions like, what's your monthly revenue? How many leads are you generating? What's your biggest marketing challenge? Have you worked with an agency before? Now, a business owner, CMO, CTO, whatever, can probably answer those questions because they're relevant, they're expected, and they create buy-in. But now imagine a residential roofing company asking homeowners, What's the estimated square footage of your roof? What type of underlayment was used during the last installation? Approximately how many bundles of shingles would be required to completely replace your roof? Now, most homeowners have no idea how to answer any of those questions. It's not because they're a bad lead or they don't need a new roof, but it's because they're not subject matter experts and aren't expecting this line of questioning from the service provider. They just want to get in touch with the representative and get a professional out to look at the house. So when you go around asking all these unwarranted questions, the forms get really confusing, and confused people do not book. The lesson is really simple. Qualification forms should only gather information necessary to improve the sales process. So what's the company ARR? Have they tried similar solutions? What timeline do they expect a solution in? And the more knowledgeable the buyer is, the more detailed your qualification process can become. Now we can move on and start talking about confirmation pages. So most businesses waste the moment immediately after booking. So you've got prospects that schedule a call, they see a generic confirmation message, thanks for booking, see you then, and that's basically the end of it. So remember what we've been talking about. When somebody books a call, they're at peak certainty. So this is the moment where they're the most engaged, so we don't want to waste this time. So we're going to use a dedicated confirmation page. So for ABC, that page might contain a short welcome video, choice client testimonials and case studies, answers to frequently asked questions, and information about what happens on the call. So think about what this does psychologically. So the prospect books with you, and then they immediately receive reinforcement that they made a good decision. So they're reminded why they booked, you expose them to proof your solution works, and then you clarify next steps. Now, on a separate note, but very closely related, we need to talk about content being used as a pre-call asset. So another huge thing that service businesses don't understand is that your sales process does not start on the Zoom call, or even a little bit before then. It starts the moment someone discovers your company. So after someone books a call, what do you think they're going to do next? They're going to Google you, they're going to visit your website, they're going to check out your LinkedIn, they're going to watch your YouTube videos if you have any, they're going to read your reviews. They're researching you, whether you realize it or not. So let's compare two agencies. So agency number one has a website for 2017. They got no testimonials, no case studies, or very few. They make no content online, and they have no downloadable resources. Now, agency number two has consistent LinkedIn content, YouTube videos that are informative. They post tons of client success stories. They've got testimonials, helpful lead magnets, etc. Which one of those agencies feels safer? Which one feels more credible? Which one would you be more comfortable giving $5,000, $10,000 to? The answer is really obvious, because people trust familiarity. The more often these prospects see you helping businesses similar to them, the more confidence they're going to have in your expertise. Really simple. You have to do everything that you possibly can to get prospects thinking these people know what they're talking about, days or even weeks before they ever talk to you. Moving on, we're going to talk about pre-call automations. So even the most highly interested and meticulous prospects forget stuff. We all do. Life gets busy, meetings run long, emergencies happen, whatever it might be. This is why you need reminder systems. A calendar invitation is very rarely enough to get 80% plus show rates. So you need to create a sequence, something like this. So you send your thank you email, introduce yourself, set expectations. 12 to 24 hours before the call, you send a reminder email. This should also include a still good for X day stipulation to allow them to reschedule instead of ghosting in case something came up. So on top of that, you also have 1 hour before the call where you send them a text message if you collected their phone number, or another email if they didn't fill that out. So you're not doing any of this to be intentionally badgering or annoying. People are busy, especially these business owners that make millions of dollars that you want to work with. Most no-shows are not malicious. They're not no-showing because they hate you and they think you're ugly or whatever it is. And if someone does miss the meeting, you need to have a follow-up process that is delegated to a specific sales rep, which is usually the person who made first contact with them. Send a reminder, call them, offer a link to reschedule. You can't give up on leads after a single no-show. There's probably thousands of dollars sitting in your CRM that you could earn back with a small reactivation sequence. The last factor we're going to talk about here is speed to lead. So most service businesses are surprisingly and unfortunately slow. So you have leads that fill out forms, and then they're waiting, hours or even days. Meanwhile, these people are still window shopping for other providers, which is, of course, increasing the chance that one of those providers responds faster than you do. The longer that you have prospects waiting for responses, the more their certainty in you fades. So again, as we've been talking about, when someone fills out that form, they are experiencing the moment of peak motivation to work with you. The problem's urgent, they're actively searching for solutions. That is when you need to be engaging with them. So what we can do is we can push interested replies on any platform directly to our team via automation platforms like Zapier or other connectors. Let's go back a moment and let's say imagine ABC is running a cold email campaign. You've got a prospect that replies with something like, "Can you tell me more? How does this work? We may be interested." Those responses indicate interest. So instead of relying on someone to be manually checking your inbox, ABC should automatically push those replies to Slack, Microsoft Teams, or whatever communication platform they use. Same applies to website forms. When you've got prospects that are submitting consultation requests, that information should be immediately directly sent to your team's communication channel. When prospects raise their hand, you want that signal to reach the people responsible for following up as soon as possible. There's one thing I want you to remember from this video. It's that sales call show rates are determined long before the call starts. Most businesses are going to focus on generating more and more leads, but very few are going to focus on getting more value from the leads that they already generate. If you guys found this video helpful, you should leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what part of your sales process that you need help fixing.